What have you been doing since then?
Well, I tell you what, I've been fairly busy. I mean, I hold World Series tournaments from 6U all the way up to 18. I do it in Yuma, Arizona. Matter of fact, we just had a great conversation with the company here in New York, or New Jersey, Youth One. Basically what they do is really keep an eye hold on what's happening in travel baseball. If you go to thebaseballlegends.com, you can see exactly everything that I do. And also we had a discussion about, starting a program up here in the East Coast where we'll have our West Coast winner and our East Coast winner, play each other when we're done doing both World Series.
So this runs?
This runs in the summer, then my older age groups are in the winter. Arizona, the weather's so good, so December, January.
Year-round almost.
Not really. Twice a year, I go out there, and then I have my own academy, Doubleday Academy in Georgia. So staying busy.
He said when he talked to you on the phone a couple weeks ago, I could hear the bats.
Oh yeah, they were working it out, man.
So the Doubleday Academy is
that's in Rome, Georgia.
Rome, Georgia, and it's
just my hidden facility where we give lessons, run our teams out of. We have 4 teams right now, 14. Chris Carmenucci and I were just talking about. He said, Seth, you could be on the road all the time if you wanted to, but I was on the road half of my life, and I think the thing I like and I really cherish is being home pretty much every day.
Where's home for you?
I live in Atlanta.
Atlanta.
So that's pretty important right now. I got a couple of young kids, 2 more young kids that I'm raising to try to give them the opportunities I gave my first 2. So again, being at home, which I wasn't, that much with the first batch, it's just kind of cool, to be at home, take my son to school, and all the kids go, hey, that's Grant's dad, but he's also Prince Fielder's dad. It's kind of crazy,
When somebody says that's Prince Fielder's dad, what do you think?
Hey, it's all good. The thing about it is this generation really don't know me. I mean, they know Prince. I mean, that's who they know. Matter of fact, all my kids, they knew I was coming up for this series, so all the kids, hey, Coach, bring the balls back. So I had Prince sign 15 balls. I think it's a good thing, too, because, sometimes us as athletes, and now you see a lot of athletes coming back to really, give back to these young kids, and what we can really give these kids at this stage is knowledge. There was a saying years ago when I was young, knowledge is power. And, if we find some kids that are really dedicated and want to do what we've done and want to listen and want to learn, later on down the road, we're going to have opportunities for these kids to come back and say, hey, thank you. You ain't asking me nothing, but they'll come back and say thank you. Our team we had this fall, we had 9 of those kids off that team get college scholarships. So, that's big.
Off which team?
Off my Doubleday team. Well, out of my tournament, we had 23 kids drafted and 17 scholarships. So that's what's really it's all about. I mean, giving these kids an opportunity not only to extend their baseball careers, but also get education. So it's kind of fun. It's kind of cool to take the trip.
Can we go back to Prince for a minute?
Yeah, let's do it.
I just have to talk about swings. When you look at him, and you look at video of yourself, so what do you see?
No,
nothing.
Let me tell you, they've been showing the clip when Prince was batting right-handed one day in the cage in Detroit. I told him, nah, I can't hit right-handed, you got to hit left-handed. So I think that was the biggest thing that I could do for him, was give him an opportunity to have the game the way the game is really made for it. The game is made for left-handed hitters, let's just face it. And I told him that, if you really want to go somewhere in this game, let's just nip that in the bud right now. Turn around and we're going to start hitting left-handed. He was mad at first.
Okay.
Yeah, he was mad.
Well, is he a natural what?
Right-handed.
Natural right, okay.
Natural right-handed hitter. And we flipped him around, and then, he really, since the kid was wearing a diaper, man, I already knew. And I tell people all the time, matter of fact, Mr. Illich talks about it all the time, and I just talk about, what Prince was going to do, how he was going to make it to the big league, blah, blah. And, Mr. Illich said he got tired of hearing it, but now he understands what I was talking about. He's a hell of a player. And at the end of the day, I can't take credit for, what he's been able to accomplish. I gave him a head start. And, any kid have an opportunity to be out there on the field with his dad is, like the for commercial is priceless. Having that opportunity to be able to be out there taking batting practice, ground balls, fly balls, running around with big league players their whole life. I mean, that's huge. But at the end of the day, he had to work for what he's got. I mean, he had to work, you know. And the one thing that was really big, you know, when Prince first came out, everybody was concerned about his size. And I just used to tell the scouts all the time when they come to the house to do those little visits and, you know, fill out the questionnaire. And look at him, man. His daddy was a big guy. He played 13 years in Major League Baseball and didn't do too bad.
No.
So I was able to convince them to kind of let that go and just, you know, let his work speak for itself. He's a dedicated worker, man. You know, and I always tell people, you know, you had a kid at 14, was 306 pounds, and he, you know, 306 pounds. He took the bull by the horns and asked me one day, he came in there, he said, Dad, I want to play baseball. I told him, son, they ain't going to let you play, you know, at the size you are now. You're going to have to work for it. So he got serious 2 straight years. He worked out 6 days a week with my trainer. Dropped 56 pounds, bench pressed probably 500 pounds, leg pressed 1,000 pounds, and ran a 6.860. So at the end of the day, he put in the work. You know, you can't work for him. You can give them that advantage to have what they need to get themselves right. But you know, you got to give them the credit for doing it.
When you look at these, okay. When you look at these, what goes through your mind? I mean, you just made a comment.
What is it?
Not too bad. I just ran those off this morning.
Well, those 3 years right there were pretty good. Those top 3 years, 90 to 92, were pretty good. Kind of slacked off in 93. And, you know, 94 was our strike year. I was going to drive in another 100 runs that year. And 95, that was the year that Sparky left. It wasn't a good year. 96 became a better year. Won the World Series and was able to do some things and, you know, had an opportunity to win.
You like doing all of this?
Not really, man. Like I said, I like being home. You know, if it wasn't for Nooch, I wouldn't be doing this. You know what I mean? You know, you know, one thing I always say, man, you always got to remember your friends. You know, my friends call on me to do something, I'm coming. You know, I was just with Dick Davis. You know, Dick Davis had a little function. He asked me to come in. Yeah, I'm gonna come to Dick Davis. Damon Jackson. These got the guys that have been in the game and are willing to help other people. And I'll come do it. But, you know, I like being home.